Hello and welcome to World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. As Friday marks a significant day in the Polish national calendar, May 2nd, the day of the flag of the Republic of Poland, we take a moment to reflect on the meaning and symbolism behind the white and red flag that unites the nation. Celebrated between International Workers' Day on May 1st and the Constitution Day on May 3rd, this relatively new holiday, established in 2004, honors Polish national identity, heritage and pride. Today we're speaking with Alina Nowobilska, a historian who will help us better understand the origins, traditions and the significance of this important day. And let me first start, Madam, by showing to our viewers our cotillions that we're wearing with pride.
Exactly.
Right, because they were once worn as a by the 18th century dancers, right? And now we wear them as a sign of attachment and remembrance and pride also for the Polish flag, honoring them. So what is exactly the significance of this day and why exactly this day was chosen as a day of Polish flag, May the 2nd?
I love it because there's two things and two reasons why. Well, first of all, as you said, we wear it as a thing of pride. And that is to do with communism, because during communism, you couldn't celebrate anything to do with the Flag Day. It was Workers' Day, and then that was it. There was no Constitution Day at all. So on Workers' Day, that's it. You got rid of everything, all the flags, nothing could last till the 3rd. Mm-hmm. So there's that kind of little jump there to say, yeah, let's keep our flags going from the 1st to the 2nd to the 3rd, right? That's the first bit. The second one, which is so interesting and not many people know about this, is that on the 2nd of May, on the capture of Berlin in 1945, the Poles actually hung their flag up on one of the greatest monuments in Berlin because we were the first victims and the first victims of violence from the Third Reich, from the Germans. So it's a kind of like, do you know what? Here we are. We have finally taken you over and look at our glory. Just one more thing to this, because some people might jump on me for that, is that people say it also happened on the Reichstag. Historians debate this. I'm going to bring it up anyway, just to be on the safe side. Historians debate this, that it did happen and it didn't happen. I'm going to like to think that it did happen because it's far more patriotic to say not only did the Soviet flag stand on the Reichstag, but so did the Polish one. It was a big finger.
That's interesting. I didn't know that, actually.
It is so interesting, and you've got photographic evidence of this as well. Wow. Because, finally, we've got that freedom. It's the same thing to do with the Warsaw Uprising, when we finally had that time to fight back.
After so many years of suffering.
Exactly.
And I would put a third element, which is, to me, very important, is the unification, the unity, rather. The unity, because this flag unites the whole nation despite all the differences, the divergences, and so many things that are dividing us.
Politics
especially the politics, which are so dividing.
It is interesting, and I love that we can unite under this one flag, and it doesn't matter if you're Polish in America or Polish in Britain or wherever you are based around the world. This one flag does unite us all, and I love that, and it's such a beautiful thing to be able to walk through Warsaw, because we are based in Warsaw right now, or any parts of Poland, especially at this time, to be able to see these flags.
So tell me, please, what is the significance it really plays today? Do people in Poland wear this flag with real pride, or is it just, simply a symbol, or because they had to do it previously?
I don't think it's that we had to do it. I see people walking down the street with their flags, or, for example, the local governments were giving out flags in the days prior to say, look, this is Flag Day here, put up your flag. Everywhere you walk, it doesn't matter if it's a government building, even on my block where I live, we have a flag being displayed. My parents, for example, in their home will do it. So residential people, because we're proud of our flag and we're able to see the flag, and it shows, like you said, unity, it shows freedom, because, for many, many years, especially during the partition period, we couldn't really display our flag. We couldn't display it under the Third Reich when we were occupied by the Soviets and by the Germans. So this is our chance to say, look, this is who we are, this is where we are.
Yes, but the flag also at a certain extent, carried out the risk of being perceived as nationalistic. So people would perhaps refrain from showing off with the flag. But today, I think this mood has changed, and people are really showing off with the flag, right?
Yeah, I mean, the reason, talking about nationalism, I think that's more of a Western concept than it is a Polish concept. And it's kind of being pushed onto Poland to say, just because you're showing your flag, you're nationalistic. That's also, you can see that in Britain. Like, you don't see flags in England at all. Very rarely do you see one being put up. But here, you walk around the streets, even when it's not Flag Day, you still see the Polish flag, which is prominently being displayed. And I think it is, like I said, it's a Western concept rather than a Polish one. Come on, go show your flag off. Why not? Go put your flag on, wave your flag, be proud of your country.
Absolutely. And so what is the significance of those two colors, so white and red? Why these colors, and what is the story behind?
So these colours date really far back into the Middle Ages. So you kind of think, oh, it's a modern concept, because in 1919, Poland gains its independence, and we finally have the flag that we see today. But it dates so far back, these colours, because they show things like purity and courage and nobility. And it's just such a powerful thing, these two colours, to be able to see it everywhere and anywhere, even on in the Piast dynasty, for example, or even when Poland was occupied during the what do you call it? My brain has just died right now. When it was taken apart for 123 years. You know, you see these flags constantly pop up all the time, and it's a fluid thing. It continues and it goes on, and we've seen it like since the Middle Ages, and it's incredible to see these two colours just continue every single step and every single way throughout the whole of Polish history.
So this is the day not only of the Polish national flag, but also of the Polish diaspora, which is all around the world, obviously. How do you yourself also, you are an immigrant, so you were born where, in Poland? Or?
I was born in London, actually.
Okay, so, but you have the Polish descent. So what is the perception of Polish diaspora with regard to the flag itself?
So 2004, I wasn't as young to remember it at school and things like that. I'd finished school by that point, but I do remember going to, you know, places like POS, because I grew up in London, so we would go there, you would have lunch, you would have the flag, you would celebrate, because we would celebrate the 2 days together with Constitution Day. There would be lots of dancing, tons of Polish flags. Right now in Great Britain, what they're doing is they make a whole month of Polish different events. So you could, like I said, you could have dancing, you could have Polish plays, Polish poetry nights, and things like that, and people are allowed to kind of create their own vision of what they think is Polishness. And I think it's really great that we can spread it to the wider community as well, because when I was young, people weren't so interested in talking about Poland, but I think in the Western countries that's now slightly starting to change. So you get more people getting involved in these sorts of events.
And how about Polish authorities? Are they doing enough to unite the diaspora, to make it feel proud of being Poles? Of Polish descent?
That's a difficult question. I think they do. They do to a certain point. It does become a little bit difficult because places like in America, you've got people that descend really far back. They don't really speak the language, and they're desperately trying to gain and claw back this sort of idea of identity. In Britain, it's a little bit different. And I think, I don't know, maybe if we could somehow create more programmes for the diaspora. I know there are places like the Kościuszko Foundation, for example, that are doing a lot of work in that field. But I think more could be done to be able to, you know, claw back and give these people the opportunity to learn the language, to learn more of the culture. And I'm desperately also trying to do that as well myself through history.
So my last question would be also about the design of the flag itself, because it's changed over time, over centuries, etc. So this story that we have this flag today, the actual display, where does it come from? Is it original from the Middle Ages, and it has changed somehow a little bit, or is just the way it was?
So it has changed. Obviously, you know, if we have the images, we'll be able to see the different whites and reds, and you've got the Polish
intensity of the red, I guess.
That also does change, because you've got to remember, back in the day, red was a very expensive colour, and it was made from bugs that were ground down and created. It is not such an easy colour to create, so to make a Polish flag, you know, it did cost a lot of money to be able to do something. But nowadays it's changed. It's also changed when you look at the naval flags as well, because you have the Polish eagle on top of that as well, which shows... that also dates back to naval history, which is a whole other kettle of fish. We could sit here for another 30 minutes talking about Polish naval history. But the flag constantly changes over the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. It changes, and it's joint with the Lithuanians, where you have red, white and red, and then you have the eagle, and you have the man on the horse, if anybody's seen that. And then obviously Poland gets wiped off the map. During the partition period, it changes to blue. It changes to white and red, so you've added that blue colour in there. So yeah, so the flag constantly changes, but there's still one thing that does continue, is the white and the red.
Alina Nowobilska, thank you so much for being with us and for presenting the whole story of the Polish national flag on this very remarkable day today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching World Talks. Thank you, and see you soon for the next interview.